Prehistoric Europe was a land of staggering contrasts. Huge frozen glaciers carved the landscape, and sprawling tundras were alive with monstrous megafauna. Among these creatures, humans stood as both predator and prey. If the extreme cold wasn't enough of a battle, prehistoric Europeans had a great number of terrifying animals to worry about, some of which they used to their advantage, others for which humans were a tasty snack. Let's explore how early humans interacted with some of the most iconic species of this prehistoric era, and didn't always come out on top. With huge herbivores, a number of terrifying cave predators, and some oversized carnivores, these animals are only going to get scarier, so stick around as we save the best till last. We'll begin with two of the most iconic megafauna to roam Ice Age Europe, the woolly mammoth and the woolly rhinoceros. These colossal herbivores were uniquely adapted to the harsh, frozen landscapes of the Pleistocene epoch, and their interactions with early humans provide a fascinating glimpse into life in prehistoric Europe. Standing up to 13 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing as much as 6 tons, the woolly mammoth resembled modern elephants, but was distinctly adapted for colder climates. Its thick, shaggy fur, 4-inch layers of insulating fat, and long, curved tusks made it a master of Ice Age survival. Fossil evidence of mammoth remains is widespread, with sites ranging from Siberia to Western Europe. Like its modern relatives, the woolly mammoth was a social animal that likely lived in herds. Its diet primarily consisted of grasses, shrubs, and other vegetation found on the tundra. However, their tusks could grow up to 15 feet long and weigh over 200 pounds each, growing continuously throughout the mammoth's life, acting as formidable and often lethal defenses against attackers. Equally formidable was the woolly rhinoceros, a stocky, 2-horned herbivore that could reach up to 12 feet in length and weigh over 2 tons. Its long front horn could grow to nearly 4.5 feet long, and a smaller horn in the back about 1.5 feet long, likely playing a role in both defense and foraging by clearing snow to expose vegetation. Fossilized remains of the woolly rhinoceros have been discovered across Europe and northern Asia, often in areas that overlap with those of the woolly mammoth. These overlapping ranges suggest that the two species shared similar habitats and would have both been targeted by early Europeans as a plentiful bounty of fur, fat, meat, and bones. In 2020, a well-preserved woolly mammoth skeleton in northern Siberia showed signs of butchering, with stone tool marks on its bones, indicating that humans actively processed its carcass for meat, hide, and bone tools. Similarly, cave paintings and carvings, such as those found in France's Chauvet cave, depict woolly rhinoceroses, suggesting these creatures not only shaped human survival, but also inspired early artistic expression. Despite their reliance on these megafauna, early humans would have faced significant dangers when dealing with woolly mammoths and rhinoceroses. As mentioned, they could use their tusks and horns for foraging, moving snow and debris out of their migration paths, and social displays of dominance. But of course, they could also use them for fighting. A protective mammoth matriarch or a charging woolly rhino could have easily crushed an unwary human. Like modern elephants and rhinos, these animals were likely unpredictable and fiercely defensive of their young. Fossil evidence of broken shoulders of mammoths suggest battles with one another during mating or hierarchy disputes, and display the sheer power these animals had in using their destructive tusks. While there are no definitive examples of human skeletons showing injuries directly attributable to mammoth or woolly rhino attacks, some fossils show signs of blunt force trauma that could, theoretically, have been caused by large animals like mammoths or woolly rhinos. If these animals could deliver bone-shattering blows to each other, I'm sure a human skull would not have stood a chance against a swinging mammoth tusk or a charging rhino horn. Another striking member of the Ice Age megafauna was Megaloceros giganteus, commonly known as the giant deer or Irish elk. Despite its name, this enormous deer was neither exclusively Irish nor an elk, but ranged widely across Europe and Asia. It earned its fame from its sheer size and spectacular antlers, which could span up to 12 feet from tip to tip, making them some of the largest antlers ever recorded. Standing about 7 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing over 1,500 pounds, Megaloceros was a formidable sight which early humans undoubtedly encountered. Evidence of this can be found in prehistoric cave art, such as that in Lascaux, France, where giant deer are depicted in stunning detail. Humans would have hunted the Megaloceros for similar reasons to the mammoths and rhinos, but Megaloceros would have been a challenging prey for different reasons. Unlike the woolly mammoth or woolly rhinoceros, Megaloceros was less likely to pose a direct threat to humans, being more evasive than confrontational. However, thanks to its speed and strength, combined with sharp hooves and antlers, an aggressive stag during rutting season or a cornered individual could have been very dangerous. While there is no specific fossil evidence of a Megaloceros injuring a human, prehistoric cave art and artifacts suggest that early humans were well aware of the power and dangers of the animals they shared their environment with. Now, of course, not every animal in this landscape was a herbivore. Before we move on to the predators, please consider liking this video if you're enjoying it, commenting any ideas you'd like us to discuss, and subscribing to join our journey. We'd love to have you with us. Now for our first predator. The Homotherium, often called the scimitar cat, is one of the most fascinating predators of the Ice Age. Known for its remarkable adaptations for endurance and speed, this formidable carnivore stood about 3.6 feet tall at the shoulder, measured up to 5 feet in length, and weighed between 400 and 600 pounds, making it slightly smaller but more agile than its famous cousin, the Smilodon. Fossils of Homotherium have been discovered across Europe. Unlike other saber-toothed cats, the Homotherium's elongated limbs and reduced upper canines were well suited for stamina and precise hunting, rather than brute force, a benefit in the open tundra of prehistoric Europe. Another key feature of Homotherium was its relatively short, serrated upper canine teeth, which differed from the long, dagger-like teeth of other saber-toothed cats. These teeth, combined with powerful jaw muscles, allowed it to efficiently slice through thick hides. This helped to tackle large prey such as mammoths, bison, and horses without risking breaking its teeth, a death sentence to a predator like this. Homotherium's sharp claws and muscular build suggest it was capable of not only chasing down prey over long distances, but also holding it down effectively during the kill. Modern analogues to the Homotherium, such as cheetahs or lions, showcase how specialized adaptations enable predators to dominate specific niches. Homotherium, however, was unique among its contemporaries due to its ability to hunt cooperatively. Fossil evidence, including mass grave sites, points to pack behavior, indicating that these cats might have coordinated their efforts to take down large and dangerous prey. Perhaps most intriguing is the Homotherium's potential interaction with early humans. Remains of Homotherium have been found in proximity to tools and butchered animal bones, hinting that early humans and these predators may have competed for similar resources. It's possible that humans scavenged kills left behind by Homotherium, or even actively hunted the cat to reduce competition. However, this interaction also hints at the possibility for these specialized killers to easily pick off early Europeans. These humans would have had to keep their eyes peeled in the distance, as outrunning one of these speedy cats would have been a tough task. This is perhaps why humans spent lots of time in caves, for safety, heat, and resource storage. But this was such a good idea that a vast number of other animals did the same. Early Europeans would have really hoped that their cave was empty upon their return, but that wasn't always the case. Let's take a look at some terrifying cave predators of the time. Crocuta spelaea, or the cave hyena, was a dominant predator of Ice Age Europe. Larger and more robust than its modern relative, the spotted hyena, it weighed up to 260 pounds, or 120 kilograms, and stood over 3 feet tall. Thriving during the Pleistocene epoch, it hunted and scavenged across frozen plains and forests, often in groups just like their modern-day counterparts. Capable of crushing bone with ease, its powerful bite allowed it to extract nutritious marrow from the remains of massive Ice Age herbivores, like the previously discussed mammoths and woolly rhinos. What's even more interesting is the relationship between cave hyenas and humans, including Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens. It was a perfect display of the shifting predator-prey dynamics of the time. In 2011, archaeologists discovered a fascinating cave in southern France that contained a very interesting scene preserved in the darkness. A mix of human and cave hyena remains. What's even more fascinating is that the bones of the hyenas bore distinct butchery markings, while the human bones sported gnaw marks consistent with the dentition of the cave hyenas. This suggests that the roles of hunter versus hunted swapped frequently, with the battle for who became dinner constantly changing hands. It can therefore be assumed that cave hyenas posed a significant threat to early humans, but also vice versa. The cave hyena's size, strength, and ability to hunt in groups would have made them a formidable opponent, especially to smaller, isolated human groups. However, humans may have retaliated by targeting cave hyenas as competitors for resources or by scavenging from their kills. Evidence from bone piles in cave systems suggests that humans sometimes occupied caves previously used by hyenas, possibly after driving them away, but at a great risk. And it certainly wasn't just hyenas that inhabited these cave systems. There were cave bears, wolves, lions, and leopards. Let's take a look. Starting with cave bears, we can draw similar comparisons to modern-day brown bears. That's to say that they were mainly herbivorous, but they were also huge and very scary. Averaging up to 3.5 meters in length when standing upright and weighing between 400 and 1,000 kilograms or 2,200 pounds, cave bears were among the largest bears to ever roam Europe. Their broad skulls housed large molars with flattened crowns, specialized for grinding tough plant material, although evidence suggests occasional omnivory, and their powerful forelimbs and elongated claws likely facilitated digging for roots and manipulating food. Many of their remains have been discovered in caves, often alongside signs of human occupation. These caves served as hibernation dens for the bears and shelters for humans, leading to inevitable clashes. Evidence of bear bones with tool marks and signs of ritual placement suggests that humans may have hunted cave bears and possibly revered them as part of spiritual practices. But also, like modern brown bears, these bears could undoubtedly use their size, teeth, and claws as serviceable weapons if startled in a cave or defending their young. However, there were far more scary animals around, including something that may have actually hunted the cave bears: the cave lion. The Eurasian cave lion, Panthera spelaea, was one of the largest feline predators of the Ice Age, and to ever exist in fact, resembling a modern lion, but far more massive. It measured up to 9.5 feet in length, stood nearly 5 feet tall at the shoulder, and weighed up to 1,100 pounds or 500 kilograms. Adapted for cold climates, cave lions had thicker fur with faint stripes or spots for camouflage. Unlike modern African lions, they lacked large manes, a feature possibly influenced by their icy environment. They hunted large prey, including bison, reindeer, young mammoths, and cave bears, and were fiercely territorial, especially mothers protecting their cubs. Evidence of human interaction includes depictions of cave lions in Ice Age art and bones with cut marks, suggesting they were hunted for their fur or even for meat. However, the cave lions were very well respected. Sculptures of cave lion heads, bodies, and the famous Lion Man figurine show the awe that these animals inspired in early humans, who likely avoided direct confrontations with these formidable predators and rather respected them from a distance. Other remarkable finds, such as the 2015 discovery of 2 well-preserved cubs in Siberian permafrost, have provided key insights into their physical traits. Cave lions went extinct around 13,000 years ago, likely due to environmental changes and declining prey populations, but they remain an enduring symbol of Ice Age apex predators. An enduring symbol of your support for our channel is pressing the subscribe button. If you're enjoying this video, we'd love to have you join our journey. An animal with even more evidence of feasting on cave bears was the cave wolf, Canis lupus spelaeus. In particular, an area called Sophie's Cave has provided the first evidence of an early late Pleistocene wolf den, notable for its abundance of fecal deposits and the discovery of partially digested cave bear bones within these areas. Wolves would search these caves for bears that have hibernated and died there, scavenging their carcasses rather than hunting them. While this behavior mirrors that of cave hyenas to some extent, it was less pronounced in wolves and more frequent than in cave lions. While it is unlikely that wolves and bears used the cave simultaneously for denning purposes, the remains of at least one adult wolf suggest that direct confrontations between wolves and cave bears occurred. This mirrors similar evidence from cave lion fossils, where interactions with bears sometimes resulted in fatal encounters. Fecal patterns were also found, where wolves might have used this to form a trail to return to a safe cave after claiming the temporary territory. Early Europeans could have used this to avoid active wolf caves, and it is likely wolves would have also avoided the humans, although encounters may have occurred in these close-quarters habitats. The wolves were approximately 6 feet long and 3 feet tall, so not massive compared to humans. But with the strength and intelligence to hunt bison and young mammoths, a small group of humans would have been up against a tough fight if they encountered a cornered group of wolves. Sophie's Cave also provided evidence of another animal in these interactions, the cave leopard. A solitary ambush predator, and quite a lot smaller than the others, the cave leopard was much less formidable. Partially digested cave bear bones in leopard scat demonstrates that these predators were capable of exploiting such resources when available, but they mostly used the caves as scavenging and hunting grounds in harsher times, and were less likely to reside there for long periods. Cave leopards were slightly larger than their modern counterparts, with a more robust build, standing around 2 feet tall at the shoulder and reaching lengths of approximately 7 feet, including the tail. Unfortunately for them, this wasn't quite a match for human intelligence, and evidence of cut marks on leopard bones suggests that humans hunted these predators, likely for their thick pelts, which were valuable for insulation in Ice Age conditions. But like all the others, human groups would have needed to be cautious when entering caves already marked by leopards, as the animal's territoriality could lead to aggressive encounters. Lastly on our list is a predator much different to the others just discussed. The Ursus maritimus tyrannus, an extinct subspecies of the modern polar bear, was an immense predator. This prehistoric giant is thought to have been one of the largest bear subspecies ever to exist. Fossil evidence suggests it measured up to 1.6 meters, 5.2 feet, at the shoulder when on all fours, and could weigh an estimated 1,200 kilograms or 2,645 pounds or more, surpassing even the modern Kodiak bear. Fossils of Ursus maritimus tyrannus have been found in parts of Britain, a region that was considerably colder during the late Pleistocene. This giant bear, like its modern polar bear descendants, was primarily carnivorous, though its robust teeth and jaw structure suggest it was likely more of a generalist scavenger and predator. This broader dietary range would have been when food sources could be sporadic. Interactions between Ursus maritimus tyrannus and early humans were likely fraught with tension. With its immense size, thick fur, and insulating fat layers, the bear was highly adapted to the cold, but also required substantial caloric intake. This put it in direct competition with Ice Age humans for large herbivores such as mammoths, reindeer, and bison. Archaeological evidence suggests that early humans and Ursus maritimus tyrannus often frequented similar territories, especially caves, which provided shelter and storage opportunities. Caves used by humans often contained bear remains, indicating possible confrontations. It's unclear whether these interactions were purely opportunistic or whether humans actively hunted Ursus maritimus tyrannus. However, given the bear's size and power, it's likely that humans avoided direct conflict unless equipped with advanced weapons or working in coordinated groups. Human populations may have scavenged carcasses of Ursus maritimus tyrannus killed by other predators or natural causes, and the bear's dense fur and fat would have been valuable resources for survival in the cold. The presence of human tools and butchered animal bones near Ursus maritimus tyrannus remains also raises the possibility of resource competition. Both species would have targeted similar prey, forcing humans to develop strategies for efficient hunting and storage to avoid scavengers, including the giant bears. The need for protection against such formidable predators may have influenced human reliance on fortified shelters and group cooperation. Despite its massive size and adaptations, Ursus maritimus tyrannus faced challenges as the Ice Age drew to a close. Warming climates and the retreat of ice likely reduced its habitat and prey base, leading to its extinction. Its legacy lives on in the modern polar bear, a testament to the incredible resilience and adaptability of the genus Ursus. However, the interactions between early humans and this Ice Age titan underscore the complexities of survival in prehistoric ecosystems, where humans were both predator and prey. Some honourable mentions of prehistoric giants before we leave include Hystrix rifossa, the giant porcupine, Megalenhydrus, the giant otter, and Trogontherium, the giant beaver, showing how just about everything back in this day and age could have taken a leg as a snack if it so fancied. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.